Hello, I'm here with a deck profile of Mitsurugi Ryzeal, which I used to come third in my local OTS championship on the weekend. Again, arguably one of the best decks in the format, and I'm playing without the 7th Tachyon package. I know the 7th Tachyon package makes the decks, come together a lot more with the rank 8 bridge. However, I cannot afford to spend 150 quid on 3 cards, so I have Remedy to the best of my ability to deck, and it performed well, so I wanted to post this little video. So first we're going to start with the main deck, so starting with 2 copies of Ice Ryzeal. Obviously the Ryzeal pack is pretty self-explanatory, and we got 2 copies of X Ryzeal, 2 copies of Sword Ryzeal, 1 copy of Star Ryzeal. Obviously, as you know, can basically make the board nib-proof on 5th summon, and even if they nib you, you've already got Habakiri in hand, which means you are going to full combo some way. And finally, Ryzeal Node, it's just an extender. Then the Mitsurugi package, which is 3 Habakiri, absolute insane card. Obviously, the Eteli effect, which is the best starter, because not only is it getting your, one of your Mitsurugi monsters on board, it tributes it, so meaning your opponent has Imperm, Veiler. They probably won't be playing Veiler in this format, but it means they won't be able to interrupt you. Then the big ritual monster, Murakumo. Against Malice, this card is insane. Just being able to, you won't be able to hand trap your way out of Malice, but clearing their board turn after turn after turn is just, it will decimate them. And then the 3 effect monsters, Aramasa, Kusanagi, and Saji. Aramasa is technically another starter. It's not the best starter. You would only rather play one. You don't really want to see it in your hand. These 2 cards, if you see in your hand, you get a bit sad. Saji is a bit better because you can kind of do something with him, but not too much. But yeah, if you see Aramasa, you're probably still going to be alright if you haven't got another normal summon. And then finally, the card which I play instead of the 7th Tachyon package due to price and affordability, which is the Night Sword Serpent. And I know what you're saying, hasn't this card been cut from basically most Ryzeal Mitsurugi decks? And the answer is yes. However, with it, it means Mitsurugi Prayers becomes a 1-card combo in hand. Without it, it gets a bit dicey and you need to find something else. Anyway, the hand trap lineup. So 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So this card didn't perform great for me. I did side out a lot. Against Malice, it feels like it functionally does nothing except stop more Charmies. Yeah, if you're a bit hesitant because Ash Blossom's been this core card in so many hand trap lineups, I would honestly recommend just signing it out game 2 against Malice. There is some things it can stop, obviously like MTP, but again, you're doing it on your turn anyway, and you'd rather see other cards. Anyway, Nibiru. This felt great for me yesterday. Some people at the OTS Championship said it felt kind of like a brick most of the time, but I resolved this so many times, and it doesn't end the turn itself, but it's certainly, you go from a full board to a half board, which I think is very important. Then the next card, 3 copies of Mulchami Furos. Now, I don't play the other Mulchamis because, again, can't really afford it. I would if I could, especially, to be fair, I think Meows and Perulia, all 3 would be, just in the deck, but this is probably the best one. Obviously, going first is not great, but I think just, if you ever lose a dice roll, this card is insane. Then 3 copies of Ghostbound Haunted Mansion. I'm playing this card over Droll because I don't think Droll is that good. Too many people are expecting it, too many people have plays around it. And this card gives you more of a fight against Malice. It also gives you a fight against Mitsurugi Ryzeal with, stopping things like prayers, can summon back from the grave. So I do think it might not be main deck worthy. I always keep it in main because a lot of people at my locals are on Malice. But obviously, I'd say look into it, and if your local environment is 90% Malice like mine is, or Lighter and Fiendsmith, I do recommend. And the final two monsters are Bestial Magnemite and Bestial Durasworm. These two were originally part of Prosperity and the Mitsurugi Trap, the Great Purification, but we're in a Joel format, even though, as I just mentioned, I don't like Joel too much, but we are still, you know, we got to be real. We are in a Joel format, and Potus Prosperity may add a starter, but if you're getting hit with Joel immediately after, it's not starting much. And obviously, Durasworm and Magnemite, they're not great against Malice. You can time it where, if they've already used their banish effect on things like White Rabbit Dormouse, banish them again, it makes things a bit dicey. But they are bodies. That's all that matters. Anyway, the spell cards. Ryzeal Cross. A lot of times, Ryzeal Cross and Star Ryzeal, I am also siding out if you're going second, because if you see them in your hand opening, they're not great. And you just rather not see them. Going first, obviously, way to prevent nib on, especially with that important after resolution. You know, it's a no-brainer. Then, arguably the best card in the deck, Mitsurugi Prayers. I've never seen a card and play with a card more which screams, I'm going to 1 at some point. I don't know when that will be, hope it's not soon. But yeah, this absolutely insane card. It does everything. A few interactions I did come up with, against with some of the players. A few people hit me with Dark Royal No More. I wasn't really prepared for this. But a fun fact about this card, it doesn't say pay 800, it says take 800, which means under Dark Ruler No More, you cannot get its special summon effect, which does come up quite a bit, and it's kind of frustrating. You just have a card looking at it and going, well, I can't use this, but they're still going to play around it if they don't know the interaction. And both people who did it to me, I did explain the interaction, they were shocked, and just funny how Konami writes certain cards. Anyway, Mitsurugi Ritual, because, you know, it's the ritual spell. It's like, yeah. And then, other two, Bonfire, Call by the Grave. Obviously, Bonfire is a starter, and Call by the Grave, because, you know, it's good going first, second. It's just a fantastic card. 3 last traps, Infinite Impermanence. You knocked the whole thing off there. It's, I might be cutting it next time I go to an OTS. It did all right against more rogue decks, but against the top decks, it does feel like it's more of a breaker, and there's better breakers like Forbidden Droplet. Anyway, so let's move on to the extra deck. Okay, so first, Ryzeal Detonator. Obviously, you know, arguably the best card in the extra deck. There was a reason it's been put to 1. You summon this, a lot of the times you are going to be winning. So why do you love the Mitsurugi version? There's people playing the pure version, but with the pure version, with it only being at 1, it can feel pretty bad if it gets banished. But if this does get banished, you have, like, the Mitsurugis. You also have a lot of rank 4 toolbox, which we'll not start with. But the next 2 cards are Ryzeal Dual Drive. Again, key part of the engine. It's just what you need to do to access your cards. Next 2, Eclipse Twins. You send 1 off X. You can make another. I did make another just to get other XEs in the grave so I could use Eclipse Twins. Yeah, there's not really much more to add there. Make sure I detonate go from a 3 card pop to a, 5-ish? Yeah. And then the Mitsurugi Bridge. Nothing to say here, just you never end on it. It's just there to get you into one engine to another. Now, interesting card that released in Alliance Insight, which is Code Igniter. This did come up, so if you don't know what this is, it's a rank 4 which you can detach 1 material from it to perform a ritual summon using cards from your field or hand. This means if you aren't able to get to ritual, be it they've ashed certain things or, like, you know, interact with you, you can summon this. There's no restrictions on what your ritual summoning or what materials you're using. So if you just have 2 level 4s, you can get to Murakumo. You can, yeah, not like you would summon Habakiri, but if you just need a big body, you can go to Habakiri. It did come up, and it was invaluable. I really shocked at how well it felt. I think if I am going to cut the extract, this probably will make the cut to stay in. if you haven't tried it, I do recommend. Anyway, the Alcoholic, Baguska. If you're in a panic state and you just want to skip the turn, sometimes you can just Baguska and pray it's enough. Tornado Dragon. This was a weird part of my end board a lot of time. Just a quick pop of any spell, especially against decks like Primite. If they have some way to deal with a detonator, it can become invaluable when trying to get rid of continuous spells or field spells. Dungaris. Now, I played Dungaris because, fun fact, I had a Gallant Granite on the way. It didn't arrive. It's actually across the room from me now. But having in the combo just extra 2/4 bodies, having draw 2, discard 1, just search for more hand traps or more interruptions, or even if you're struggling, an extra extender, you know, is great. I probably will be cutting this to Granite just to search a nib. Maybe play 2 and cut something else. I haven't really thought ahead. I've got another OTS in a week's time, so yeah, we'll see. Then Exton Knight. When I was playing the Mitsurugi Fiendsmith version, Exton did come up a lot. I didn't ever feel the need to go into it, which is probably good because I feel like it's one of those cards where if you have to go into it, the game's not going great for you. But yeah, it's just staple rank 4. Gagaga Cowboy. We all know why I'm playing this card. It's because the attack increase is invaluable and can win you the game. Aggregator. Off X going second, free negate, can force out an interruption. This is a good card. Typhon, the panic card. Sometimes it can win you the game. If there's just a way to just survive and bounce something back. I don't recall ever going into it. Obviously with the Ryzeal, they will rank lock you. Maybe I cut it, but I just feel like it's too good to have in the extra deck just in case. And the final card, Dynamondo. I went into this once. I'm pretty sure I lost the game immediately after. Not that I got like nibbed or called by, but just I didn't like it in this version. I think pure Mitsu and potentially Fiendsmith Mitsu in the final room probably good-ish in that. I really did not like it, and probably will be cutting this for Granite going forward. Anyway, the side deck. Okay, now for the side deck. So, pretty obvious start. 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. If you're not playing this, you're either stupid or very brave. I hate the fact I have to play it, because it's just... There is sometimes when Malice games can be very interesting and can be very back and forth. But with this, if you are looking to win and you just never shotgun this. That's what I've always found. With Chill Tactics talents down to 1, I don't think there's any reason you need to do this in like draw phase or standby. You want to do this, the best opportunity is when they either play Underground or I think Dormouse. Especially Dormouse after normal summon. Because that can be quite painful. But yeah, obviously, there's not much else to say about this Lancia. It's 94% in decks at the YCS. But Droll. I hate this card. I hate playing it. I hate seeing it. If it's in the main deck, the format's something's not right. I understand why you got to play against Mitsurugi, but yeah, it's one of those cards where you always see it when you don't need it, but when you really do need it, you never see it. And also, it's the same situation as Lancia. It becomes a non-game when you drop this, and it goes from a very grinding back and forth to they drolled me. Let's see if I can scrape together something. It is that you can play around it a bit, but yeah, it's not going to be great. Anyway, my board breakers of choice: 3 copies of Metaltronus. As I mentioned earlier, with the high population of Malice at my locals, I was hyper targeting that. Metaltronus against things like White Binder, Topologic, Red Ransom, Crypta, whatever extra they choose. I think A-Code as well, if I remember correctly. Aggregator, and Aggregator, King of the Feral Imps, and Co-Igniter are all Metaltronus targets. Aggregator is the one you want to summon because when it gets sent to grave, it gets the effect. But yeah, I think it's a really good card. Also, I didn't have a mirror against any Ryzeal decks. There was a few at the tournament, but they play Detonator. You what? Hit this and search one of your lesser needed Ryzeals, and it just negated Detonator for the turn. Anyway, 2 copies of Lightning Storm. Side it in, basically a lot of games going second. I don't think I saw it once, so we'll move on. Duster, I had a really annoying interaction on the one game I lost, so I went 4-1 in the end. Losing my only loss was against Primite Blue Eyes. And so he sets up full Blue Eyes board, Drill Beam, you know, all the works. I draw this for turn, and I'm like, I gotta negate the drill. I gotta bait the Drill Beam out. And I do. I play something. I can't remember the exact things. I think it was X. You sent at special X, sent aggregate, and negate. Try to attempt to negate the synchro. Then you know, X Vector search. He drills beams target my X only for a judge to go, you haven't got a prime. No, well, was it? Yeah, reveal primary goes, oh, I haven't got one. So he had no primary, no normal. And at that point, I just went, I could have a shotgun Duster and won the game. However, yeah, he draws me after I search, and that's that. So, yeah, a bit mad about that. I sometimes windmill slamming a card that you probably will get negated will win you the game, who knows? And finally, 3 copies of Solemn Warning. Yeah, this card came up so much, just absolutely insane. I think it's my favourite version of Solemn. I was playing Judgment for a bit, but yeah, I think this is the one to go forward. So that's the deck profile. Thank you for watching. Going forward, I do want to try and make some more content because it's been a while and I do enjoy like making little videos like this. I also want to do some standard like basic combo videos, because what I've noticed on YouTube, especially recently, I don't know if it's something to do with like all the spreadsheets coming out and the, you know, but no one talks about the, you know, the real basic lines, like how to full board off like something like prayers, or, you know, just even just the basic Ice Ryzeal combo. So yeah, I want to make little videos like that and go from there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon.